Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining in from. Welcome to the Focus You Fireside Chat, a forum where we bring in speakers, subject matter experts from all across the globe to discuss, to explore, to learn some common areas of interest across HR, L&D, and business fraternity. My name is Neeraj, and I'm part of the Focus You client advisory and facilitation teams. And I have the privilege and honor to host this fireside chat today. Now, being a wellness enthusiast myself, I'm extremely excited. Hope you're too, and I believe that's why you're here. Yeah, I believe you can hear me clearly. Just post a yes in the chat box if you can hear me and see me clearly. Perfect, great. All right, now, before we dive in deeper, let me call out some announcements. The first one is that we'd love if you could tag Focus You or use the hashtag that you see on your screen, Focus You Firestarter, to post about this event on LinkedIn or social media. It's a great way to create awareness about the topic that is in discussion today and also your participation in it. Additionally, we believe that we have a really smart audience today, and I need all your help to keep the chat box buzzing by sharing your views about the discussion, by posting questions which are thought-provoking, which get in best insights from our speakers, because we are going to pull up those questions by the Focus You team. There's a team which is manning the chat box right now. They'll pick up the questions and we'll ask those questions to the masters or the speakers at the end in the last 15 to 20 minutes. So keep the chat box buzzing. And the third is that there are interesting giveaways for the most participatory audiences. And here's your chance to make the best of it by getting those giveaways. Yeah. All right. Now, coming back to the topic of interest today, the workplace wellness, financial, mental, physical. Now, workplace wellness is key to workplace productivity. It has been a part of the HR agenda for a long time. But the difference is it has been really been spurred by the pandemic, which brought in a shift. It made us reorder our priorities, both as employees and employers. And the interesting thing is today, the workplace could be home, it could be an office, or it could be a hybrid setup. And not just that, we're also grappling with multi-generational workforce at work. It could be Gen X's to Gen Y's to Gen Z's. And all of them may have different lifestyle priorities. As per a 2023 survey done by the Forrester Consulting Group to gauge the state of the current workplace well-being, it was found that only 24% of the Indian employees are thriving or experiencing high well-being. If it is of some solace, this number is very close to the global number, which is around 25%. Of the non-thriving employees, it was found that 40% mentioned that they don't intend to stay in the same job for more than a year. 88% of the employees said that they believe it is very important to look for companies that care. Hence, workplace well-being is taking the center stage in new shapes and forms. So much so that recently, last year, a major food tech organization appointed a CFO. Now, you might think, why is that uncommon? The reason being because the CFO in this case was the Chief Fitness Officer. We at Focus You partner with organizations globally for designing and delivering their wellness initiatives. We run learning journeys which are curated specially to include programs like psychological safety, emotional intelligence, managing hybrid teams, and so on. We believe that wellness has multiple facets to it. And hence, today we have brought in experts from 3 different domains: physical, mental, and financial. And I'm extremely thrilled now to introduce our speakers, starting with Shayamal. Shayamal is a man of diverse talents and experiences. Born in Durban, South Africa, he grew up playing professional cricket during the apartheid era. He's a sports scientist with a double master's in clinical and organizational psychology. He even explored spirituality and the subject of balance, living as a monk for over 3 years. For over 2 decades, he has been at the forefront of the performance psychology and coaching industry, working with elite athletes, teams, and executives on mindset, communication, and team dynamics. His expertise is rooted in deep knowledge of spirituality, evidence-based neuroscience, and psychology, which is an absolute rarity. He was part of the 2003 Indian cricket team contingent and worked very closely with Sachin Tendulkar as well. He has also been part of the Indian and South African Davis Cup teams and Indian Olympics team. He is currently a faculty member with the Stanford Business School LEAD program and advisor to numerous Fortune 500 and 1000 companies, as well as sports technology brands. Shayamal is currently performance psychologist with the Indian men's senior football team. He's an author, having written the book Breathe, Believe, Balance, which I'm currently reading and I'm really loving it. He's an ultra marathoner, plays golf, cooks, and is currently trying making some delicious tarts. He joins us today from Barcelona, where he lives with his family. Welcome, Shayamal.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Then we have Dr. Bhawna Malhotra. She's a chief physiotherapist, aged care physiotherapy and rehabilitation. With over 18 years of experience in this domain, she is on a mission to empower individuals to achieve optimal physical function and wellness. Strong advocate for preventive healthcare, believes in educating patients on injury prevention, proper ergonomics, and lifestyle modifications to enhance overall well-being. She's proficient in designing and implementing comprehensive physiotherapy programs to address a wide range of musculoskeletal and neurological conditions. In her free time, she's currently learning to play ukulele with her son. She loves sketching and drawing, goes on walks, and is very particular about what she eats. No wonder. Today, she joins us from Nagpur, where she lives with her family. Welcome, Dr. Bhawna.
Thank you, Raj.
And then we have Kartik Sankaran. With a career spanning back to 2002, Kartik has been deeply immersed in the financial realm, witnessing his evolution over the years. His professional journey has taken him across Mumbai and London, working with companies like Rothschild, HDFC, Sterlite, Reliance, Ernst & Young, experiencing both employee and entrepreneurial roles, providing him with a well-rounded perspective of the financial landscape. During COVID, he found his friends and family struggling, and hence when he achieved financial independence, he founded FiscalFitness with a mission to empower corporate professionals to achieve financial fitness. He's known to simplify complex financial concepts and make this esoteric subject easy to understand. That's such a relief, Kartik. I'm one of those who find this very, very esoteric. Outside the financial world, Kartik enjoys hobbies that allows him to explore his creativity, working with wood, resin, and cement to craft unique pieces. So welcome all of you, and thanks for being with us today. With the intent, and I'll be now starting with the questions. With the first round of questions is I'm going to ask with the intent to just bring everyone on the same page and to draw some familiarity for our audience. And in no order of preference, I'm going to ask you, Dr. Bhawna.
Yeah.
First question being that what according to you is physical wellness? What all does it cover? And why is it important to understand from a workplace scenario?
Physical wellness is something like we talk about wellness in terms of health, physically in relation to our body. Like our body, not only including exercises, it includes sleep quality, it includes nutrition, it includes hydration, it also includes stress also in some cases, because you cannot isolate physical health with mental health. Okay. And for us, like we people in sitting jobs mostly, so it will also include posture and also the science of ergonomics, which is applied to work environments, workplaces nowadays to improve your physical health, physical wellness. Okay. So as you know, after COVID, the next epidemic is sitting, which is being talked about. Sitting is the new smoking. You must have heard,
Yes,
right? Yeah. So, workplace scenario, knowing about physical wellness is important because it will, the persons who are physically very aware about their health, they will be also very productive, very focused, and it also helps to improve, lower down, in fact, the healthcare costs related to the preventive injuries and illnesses that can be avoided. Often the companies have to bear the healthcare costs after the employees are suffering from any healthcare scares. But if they are already aware about what physical wellness is about and how they can enhance or promote physical wellness in the workplace, they can also raise a healthy employee culture in their corporation or organization, which is very important, I think. Because if they are aware about what safety measures or what risks their employees are prone to in the workplace, like if I talk about prevention, the prevention of musculoskeletal disorders, which we call MSDs, not Mahendra Singh Dhoni, because IPL season is on. Of course, MSD means Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but not here. It is musculoskeletal disorders. These are the disorders or conditions which are related to poor posture, which can affect your muscles, they can affect your ligaments, they can affect your tendons, joints of the body. Okay. So because everyone is on their computers and screens or phones right now, so there the injury incidence increases a lot. See, like we have carpal tunnel syndrome, in which the wrist is involved, the median nerve that passes through the wrist, it gets compressed. Then we have tendinitis, it can be elbow tendinitis, like you must have heard this tennis elbow or golfer's elbow. But that is not just restricted to the games now. It has come to the computers also. You have neck spondylitis, you have lumbar back pain, low back pain, which results in the spinal disc degeneration. And you have many symptoms like the pain is radiating down the leg, or the pain is radiating from the neck to the arms, hands, and which can be very debilitating if not addressed to earlier. So the person has to be very aware about the signs and symptoms, what he is suffering, and he should also report it to the supervisors or managers. So that is why the corporal heads, they should also be aware about what is happening with the body. Themselves also, they should be aware, like they should also act as leaders. They should also act for the promotion of their own health and also be an example for the employee health.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Bhawna. And you called out MSD now. Whenever I think of MSD, it's going to be etched in my memory what it also means.
So that will be a good thing. You'll be aware of your physical health as well.
So we'll like to deep dive into that further.
Yeah.
But I'll just now move on to Shayamal. So Shayamal, you come from the world of sports. In sports, the very act of mental well-being of an athlete, or as they say, mental conditioning, is very widely recognized. However, coming to the world of business, what would mental well-being entail in this scenario? And why is it important to even understand to integrate it on a daily basis?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you so much for having me here. When we talk about well-being, there are two important components that we need to understand. Well-being, and irrespective of whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whether it's financial, emotional, everything. The two components is that well-being is about equanimity, finding equanimity firstly, okay, balance. But every single one of us would have a baseline of something. So if you're talking of physical fitness, you'd have a baseline. You're looking at strength, you'd have a baseline. Even for your emotional and mental well-being, you'd have a baseline. So the first component of well-being is about raising your baseline. Slowly, we call it raising the floor, lifting the floor. That's the first component. That ensures that you're getting better in every aspect of your life. The second component of well-being is the return to baseline. Now, what do I talk about return to baseline means that if you look at financially, and Kartik will speak about that, you could have the market being disrupted, which knocks everything out. Then how quickly do you return to that? If you look at emotionally, you could have a pandemic that stressed the system, that stressed the body, put your ecosystem. How quickly do you return to baseline? If you're physically injured, you get derailed off a certain strength baseline, how quickly you return. So when you look at well-being as a component, there are two elements to it. The first element is establishing what is baseline, and then consistently bringing routine and habits into place that raise your baseline. And the second part of it is, in the event that you get knocked further off baseline, how quickly are you resilient enough to come back to baseline? These are the two components. Now, why is mental, and specifically to me, why is mental well-being so important for corporates? Is because I come from the world of sport and corporates, and it's very important to distinguish the difference between two. In the world of sport, we play what's called a finite game. We know the rules of the game. We know when it starts. We know when it ends. We know what's needed to win. We even know how good our competition is, good or bad. So the dynamics are pretty fixed, and then you're playing in that game. When you look at business, the rules are not defined. The competition is mired. You are playing in a completely different ecosystem. The starting point is not exactly the same for everyone else. So you got so many external variables. So for people in the corporate ecosystem, well-being mentally and emotionally is so fundamentally important because you're getting thrown more variables than anywhere else in life. The other important aspect with respect to sport is we compete in what's called fixed time periods. So we know IPL is 45 days. The Olympics will run over 3 weeks. We have so many competitions. But in business, you're required to perform for about 300 out of 365 days. Remove your holidays and weekends. So the degree through which you are supposed to show up is to the nth degree in relation to sport. So when you look at all of these variables, every single person should evaluate their health on the basis of their baseline and how their baseline is moving and how resilient they are to reaching or recovering back to baseline.
Great. I think that's great inputs, Shayamal. And in fact, as you called this out, I remember parts of it, as you said, it's all connected, and there's the equanimity part. I think I really resonated. Yeah, wonderful. Great. So, moving on to Kartik for now. Welcome, Kartik.
Hi.
And Kartik comes from the esoteric world of finance, something that I really fear, the numbers, but it's great that there's someone who can make sense of it for us. So Kartik, just to get the audience on the same page, what would financial well-being mean, and how in a workplace scenario can it add to or contribute to the overall well-being?
Sure. Firstly, I don't think finance is really only numbers. So there's a lot of behavioral, science to it and how we react. But the way I would look at, say, financial wellness, right? If you take a, scale of 1 to 5, at the first level, you have somebody who is physically showing you signs of being scared with their money. Maybe, it turns up in terms of absenteeism, they're daydreaming at work, constantly stressing about something, but not looking at their. Maybe they have debts, maybe they need to repay something. So that's like level 1, where, they aren't really financially secure. They're always worried. Level 2, some bit of, say, safety net that they've built. Maybe they've saved a little bit from last month's pay. They know, okay, I can go on for another month and a half if my income weren't to come in. As Shayamal mentioned, they can bounce back in a month's time. I mean, that's the bare minimum that they have, right? They may have taken steps, say level 1, if someone was borrowing money, unsecured, 15%, having to make daily payments back. Now they've at least managed to repay that and take a little more structured form of debt. But they still have a burden of debt on their heads. They're constantly worrying what happens 30 days from now. But we can manage, as you would say, the daily running of the household. Level 3 is, they probably cleared level 1 and 2. They can probably see a little more ahead, have some breathing room, maybe start throwing in a bit of luxuries of life, start thinking about taking a weekend away. But still, there is a lot of niggling doubt in their head. Do I have enough? If this was a mid-level professional thinking about retirement, will I have to continue working in the same job for another 50 years? Will I be able to actually step out? If they've got kids, they're worried about, will we have enough to pay for them? So that's constant, worry, but it's obviously not showing up physically because they've taken care of the basics for this month, the next month, and maybe even 3 months out. So those are, level 3 kind of people. Level 4, I think, is where genuinely people have enough to take care. They've thought about long-term goals. They've started allocating money towards it. They know they're in a good spot. Maybe, if a pandemic were to hit again, they have enough to bounce back. and not really become desperate for any job that comes their way and things like that, right? So they're now thinking more in protecting their wealth. They're not really looking to scale it. They're saying we've got some money. If we can, somehow manage this, life should be all right. And finally, level 5 is, financial freedom, where, you are genuinely working because that's what you like to do. You are, excited about each day, not only from a money point of view, but, the ability, I would say, to say no to things that you no longer want to do, the ability to spend your day the way you want. And there is, an overall sense of enough. And this again is tied down to each individual. There is no hard and fast number. Somebody might find that enough number with 5 crores. Somebody says 5 crores is not even enough for a 6 months, right? So the idea is wellness is at a scale. It's how would you kind of equate to each of this. And lastly, and I think it's more to do with how you'd want to ideally manage your day and time. And money just becomes a way to facilitate that.
Got it. It's amazing that how you've structured it and put it in different levels. I would love to know separately from you which level are you at, but I think I know the answer. But Kartik, if you were to just extend this and tell us that while employees may be at different stages, what is it can be done? How it can add to the overall well-being in terms of if one is aware of it, and if one goes further, how does one add to the overall well-being? Is it because once you are financially secure, then you are able to work better, your productivity is better? Is that what's...
So I think there are multiple things, right? Once you are secure, maybe you're seeking more engaging work and not necessarily just the money. I'm sure most of the audience here, the typical, we all operate within budgets. If I can hire somebody and give them a better quality of work, but not necessarily have to pay 2x in terms of money. So that's one. Two, you are more present, right? The less physical stress builds up, the less mental stress builds up. You are going to turn up to office more often. I think, you mentioned about hybrid work, right? We come across a lot of instances where managers say that, I don't like my team working remote because they don't seem to be on their job, or they seem to be disappearing most of the time. Why? They're either trying to do a side hustle, either they're trying to, bring in some income, or the current craze is trying to trade in the stock market, right? Between 9 and 5. So the idea is, once you reach a certain level of wellness, corporates start either reducing their overall, say, cost. Two, in terms of people are motivated to do the right work. So they're not looking to jump ship every 6 months, 1 year. So again, reducing your cost of attracting talent. And so I think both of these come together and help, organizations actually let their employees also grow. There's generally a fear that if my employee becomes, financially secure, they may leave me. And, what do I do? But I don't think, good corporates today, good organizations know how to motivate people, give them more challenging assignments. It's not always just the, CTC that matters. And that kind of becomes easy once you say, I've reached an enough level. Or I know that my company is interested in my overall wellness, and it's not just the money side of it.
Great. Thanks for answering, Kartik. I think the first round has gone really well with the responses, and really giving us familiarity into each of these topics. I'll go deeper into the second round. I'll start with Dr. Bhawna. Dr. Bhawna, whenever we think of physical activities, often at times all of us have dabbled into it at some point of time for our physical wellness. However, I realize, and I'm sure people will resonate with it, that as soon as some challenging work comes up at work, and there's a project, there's a deadline, often the first thing to let go of is physical activity. Yeah. So could you throw light on this subject, that how can, even in challenging situations, if we keep focusing, how can physical activities enable us to keep up our mental resilience, which is required in such situation, and vitality? If you can throw some light on this.
If you are very regular with the physical activity itself, it increases your endurance and stamina, already increasing your physical resilience. It also boosts your mood, It also boosts your morale. And also regular physical activity leads to increase in good hormones, endorphins, and decrease in the cortisol, which is the main stress hormone. So it uplifts your mood as such only. And when you are working in a team, you can work out instances like you can take regular breaks. It can be turn-wise, it can be together. Like you can have mandatory breaks, because when you are stressed out, you'll be sitting as such only in your place for long hours. So you have to take care of one another if you're working in the team, or you have to set alarms on your devices. Like if you're having a fitness app or a tracker, you can put an alarm of 30 minutes. After every 30 minutes, you have to get up, keep your water bottle away, have a sip of water, take a trip to the restroom. It will also take care of your hydration. And hydration not only is limited to the body, because body itself is made of 80% of water, but also hydration of the body tissues. Water is necessary to maintain the circulation in the body for the nutrients to be circulated to different parts of the body. And there's a thing called fascia. It is a connective tissue in the body. So hydration of the fascia takes place when you are moving. Movement is the hydration of the fascia. So you must have heard of terms like myofascial pain syndromes. So myofascial pain occurs when this fascia gets stuck. You can think of that cotton candy. When it is swirling, it is the fibers are separated. But when it settles down, then it is very hard to break. The same happens with the fascia. New fascia is settling down, settling down. If you are not moving, it will just settle down and it will make knots in the muscles, which will create pain. So that regular physical activity, even small breaks within the your stressful periods or your long hours of working, they are also very helpful. Even if you are taking a break after every 1 hour for 5 minutes, if you're working continuously for 8 hours, say during your challenging times, it will lead to 40 minutes of activity without you even noticing, just 5 minutes. So this 40 minutes, if you count till 1 week, this will lead to 280 minutes of activity. And the recommended activity is 150 minutes of moderate exercise by the American Heart Association. So you have already surpassed that, even if you're moving just 5 minutes after every 1 hour. Okay, and if you are regularly taking care of your physical health, you are taking balanced nutrition, you are having quality sleep. Quality sleep also means away from your devices in a silent, conducive environment. So you have already improved your focus. You have already worked toward that goal, improving your focus, decreasing your stress levels, and so increasing productivity. And it also leads to improved cognitive function of the brain. That is, your higher thinking skills are also improved. You have mental clarity. You have better problem solving skills and better decision making skills, which will help you in those challenging times.
Absolutely great. I think those are wonderful points. In fact, at some point of my career, I had done a course with the American College of Sports Medicine, and you just brought back memories of fascia.
Yeah.
If you can just, for the benefit of the audience, because not everybody may be aware of this, if you can reiterate that fascia, where is it in the body and how does it?
Fascia is a connective tissue covering which is present everywhere in the body. Like it is covering every muscle, every organ. It is like enclosing all the organs. It is like a sheath which is going through all the organs in the body, especially attached to the muscles. So when you're not moving enough, the fascia, it gets stuck. It is stuck to the muscles and it will form sheets of its own. So when you're not moving, you are not moving the fascia, you're not hydrating the fascia. And the muscles are also losing their elasticity. Muscles are losing their flexibility. The ligaments are losing their elasticity. Okay, when you are sitting in this proper, see, when you are working, when you are tensed, you are working like this. Okay, these muscles, these are getting tightened, these are getting elongated. So there are postural imbalances setting in. The similar with the lower half of the body. Because you are working in that stressed position, your hip muscles will get tightened. You are sitting on your back. You might be sitting unsupported. You will be in the stress position. Your shoulders elevated, your neck flexed. So that contributes to problems in the musculoskeletal system itself. It will lead to postural imbalances as well as the muscle imbalances. It may lead to a movement dysfunction if you are continuing that for a long time.
Wow, these are amazing insights and really makes one think. And I'm sure it's making a lot of participants also think. As soon as the awareness kicks in, I think it becomes easier to sort of push that habit in. So great. Thanks for sharing, Dr.
Thank you.
Right, moving to Shayamal now. Shayamal, you've had you've been working with elite athletes, corporate executives, CEOs all through, and you've really enabled them to develop and maintain mental resilience and achieve peak performance. If you can just throw some light on peak performance and what does it take to achieve peak performance?
Yeah, peak performance is, I think the two terms that most people are synonymous with is, one is high performance and the other is elite performance. And I think it's important to distinguish between the two. Okay, peak performance falls in that sort of high performance category. It straddles both. High performance is wherever anyone's baseline is. If you raise the bar, you're a high performer. You're literally raising the bar. Peak performance / elite performance is when the bar is already established as the gold standard, and that's the threshold you need to cross. So for example, if you want to get to the Olympics in the 100 meters, you need to run 9.9 as a qualifying time. If you don't run it, you're not going to get there in the first place to make it into the final. So the threshold is established and you need to cross that there. When I work with people in that peak performance realm or in that elite performance realm, what I'm doing is firstly quantifying what that threshold is we need to cross, and establishing what the gap is between where they are and what we need to cross. And that gap can be closed by millions of different variables. My job is to analyze each one of those variables and look at which one is going to give us the most significant gain in sort of crossing that. So this is what we do in the world of performance leadership, in the world of performance coaching. We're putting a magnifying glass on tiny variables and looking at where we're going to get the most significant gain to cross a threshold that's currently established. And there are two types of psychologies. There's the psychology of chasing that threshold, and then there's the psychology of, once you establish the threshold, how do you maintain that? They're two completely different types of psychology. So you'll find a lot of people, I come from South Africa, for example, we are great at chasing down scores or chasing down things, but are we good at establishing the threshold and then maintaining that lead? We're not so good, historically speaking, in terms of our results. But this is the distinguishing difference between these two mindsets. And at each point, right, each one of these mindsets will require different trainings and different methodologies and a completely different ecosystem to mature and navigate.
So great points, Shayamal. So when you're working with business folks, and
yes,
executives, so one of the thoughts in my head was, does it take a particular mindset to really achieve peak? Because I believe the business folks are also in that domain, as you just mentioned, it's an infinite game. Yeah, and they're also pushing the threshold all the time. So when you coach them, what are the things that you work on? Is mindset the thing that you're working with, or there are some other things to really maintain mental resilience and peak performance state?
When we're working with leaders, we're working with a whole bunch of variables. But to distill it down, I think the most key variable that we're trying to condition, the muscle we're trying to train, is the muscle of courage. Most people have all the information available to them. It's their inability to act at the most opportune time that doesn't result in what's needed. So the great leaders, in psychology, there's a term called eat the frog, which is to do the most difficult thing first. That's what average people cannot do. That's what great leaders are able to execute first. And there's a gentleman by the name of Astro Teller, who works for Google, who came up with the beautiful story of the monkey on the box. And he gives this example of saying, most companies, if they were given a big contract to get a monkey to stand on a box in the middle of a square and sing, right, they would start by building the box. Right. And once they build the box, they would create a subconscious barrier of comfort, thinking that they've achieved 25% of the task. But that means nothing, because in that task, the most difficult thing is training a monkey to sing. And most people will waste 75% of the time getting to the most important task before they deem it a failure. So when you look at eating the frog and you're looking at great leaderships and you're looking at what I'm actually teaching and coaching people to do, is establish and understand with clinical awareness, which is the most difficult aspect that's going to hold us back and execute that first. Develop the muscle of courage to get that done first.
Wow. Courage. That will stay with me. And I believe you're right that in the world that we're living in, the business, in this intense competition, there's things happening on a daily basis. Really, that the pushing the threshold can happen only with courage. Yeah, and I would love to know how you build that muscle. But as you said, there are multiple variables that you work with. But if you can shine light on something, maybe
yeah,
an
absolutely.
example that you can.
Neeraj, the first thing also I do as a coach is I evaluate the ecosystem. And the same applies to all of the experts that we have here. If Bhawna wants to make someone move and fit, it's not going to be her message that's getting someone to move. It's going to be the people that person speaks to every day and their relationship to movement. The same with moving up the various levels of financial security and stability. How much of conversation are you having with people in your ecosystem that are nudging you in that direction? So courage is a byproduct of your ecosystem. When you are surrounding yourself with people who are acting courageously, who are learning, getting the emotional recognition and the courage and the resilience to push that barrier, then you will have the fortitude to do that a little bit more. So for every single person listening, irrespective of what anyone tells you, if you have a goal and an aspiration in life, the first place you need to look at is the people in your ecosystem who mirror that. If there's nobody in your ecosystem who mirrors that key skill, that attribute, or that trait, the probability of you achieving it drops down drastically, almost as close as zero. And for every person in your ecosystem who mirrors that behavior, your probability of success increases significantly as well. We are a byproduct of our ecosystem. And anything and everything you want will manifest in and through your ecosystem. This is why hyper-awareness of your ecosystem, and especially people in the ecosystem, is critical to achieving anything and everything, including a simple core trait like courage.
Wow. That was amazing. That was very powerful. Thanks for sharing, Shayamal. And it reminded me of we run these workshops wherein we talk about certain things around behavioral change, right? And behavioral change, we call out that our environment makes a huge difference whenever behavioral change is involved. Something as simple as that, maybe you want to lose weight and you want to go for a walk after coming back to work, but if there's the remote controls sitting right there, then it's likely that you'll pick it because the environment is such. But if you change your environment, the people who encourage you, there's an accountability partner. It's easier for you to head out after coming back. Yeah, great. Thanks for sharing, Shayamal. I'll move on to Kartik now. So Kartik, there's a lot of financial awareness and information being shared these days. And at a larger level, like for example, we see mutual funds, sahi hai, and all these financial information. So however, coming to the workplace, that what role does financial education or upskilling play in really promoting financial wellness among employees?
I think the fundamental building block is awareness, financial literacy. So I think today, if you look at different studies, right, India as a whole, financial literacy levels are quite low, right? Depending on which study you take, some might be as low as 25% of the workforce is actually financially literate, going up to maybe 30-35%. Why is it low? Because I think, one, there is no defined concept of financial literacy. In the school, yes, you learn a bit of maths, you learn a bit of multiplication. Two is, I think the human brain is not evolved enough to think in terms of compound interest and how it really works, right? Mentally we can do 2 into 2, 4, and say, but if I say 2 raised to 4, we're looking at our fingers counting, okay, 2, 4, 8. And if you start talking bigger numbers, you just can't do it. So again, we've all heard of that story of the chessboard, right? Whether you take 1 grain of rice on the first square, and by the time you reach half the board, you're probably consuming the entire, supply of rice. So given that construct, I think, workplaces today struggle to provide literacy in that sense because they assume schooling has done it. People have joined the workforce after maybe 4 years of professional education. And the second real problem comes to this remains a highly personalized topic. While I think the ecosystem is very important, but we don't tend to know people in our ecosystem that well. Now, looking at the, four of us on this call, we say, okay, fine, you must be like this, you must be like that. But we don't know what the money story is behind us. Somebody, is coming from, say, a different path. Someone has inherited a lot of money, and today their attitude towards financial safety and security is very different versus somebody who, say, in their mid-30s, faced 3 months of a layoff and then was diagnosed with, a health issue and had to spend all their money fixing it. So given there's a lot of, story behind which we are not aware, to the employees themselves are never thought through in terms of what is money for them, how does it all work. You are seeing today people come into the workforce, or if, much later in, still not sure about how it all works. The second part to it is the way things are structured, right? Today, the average fresher joins in, his or her experience, say, towards saving tax is driven by, literally the deadline that is set by 31st, please submit something. We don't do anything till the 29th. Finally, on 30th, you click a few boxes and say, I've done it. Or you just ask somebody, hey, what should I do? So that again is an issue where, we don't really have a proper understanding, a proper system in place to really understand where financial literacy or awareness comes from. And finally, there is the whole rise of social media, where it is accessible today. As you mentioned, mutual funds sahi hai. Well, that's a great tagline. It brings awareness. But the reality is there are 4,000 products under it. Yeah. Which one should I buy? Which one is the most important one? So it's a bit like, there's now a second tagline which probably goes like, advisor zaruri hai, which is, yes, the product is great, but how do I use it? How do I put it to work for myself? So given that, there is a lot of room for workforces to understand very basic concepts, because again, I'll go back to you, while you say it's esoteric, it might be difficult, but there are 2 or 3 main thumb rules that someone needs to understand. For example, compound interest, that is one of the basics. Diversification is another simple basic, and it applies in our daily life in terms of work. Today, you don't, a large project, you don't entrust to one single employee, you diversify and probably have 2, so that if something happens. The same with our money. So I think, workplaces can build in some of this. It's how do you make it easy for people to understand, come in and ask for help when needed. And most importantly, the attitude towards money should be, yes, it remains personal, but there is no harm discussing it and seeking help when needed to basically help themselves.
Yeah. Great points, Kartik. I wish you were around when I had started my career.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
Yeah, because as you just mentioned, early on in my career, I was really not very understanding of all these concepts, and possibly I would have made much more savings and had a healthier bank account if I had known more of these concepts, or there was some awareness around in the organization that I was in. I remember when I last read the book by Morgan Housel, The Psychologist. Yeah, that also shone a light that it's not as difficult as we might feel in our head. Yeah, right. And it's about basics. Yeah, it's just that you need to have the right awareness about it and skill.
Yeah, and that if you see, it's a book written by potentially, he's a journalist or a financial historian, as he calls him. So it's not really a scientific money manager. And what's written there is the basics, but we are losing track of sometimes, following basics and trying to fix, problems that don't really exist.
Right. I'm sure, Kartik, there are people going to reach out after this session to you.
Sure.
I hope that happens. All right, great. Loving the conversation. Just calling out to the audience that please use the hashtag Firestarter when you're posting about this event on LinkedIn or social media. Just creates awareness of the importance of this topic and also your participation in it. Yeah, and also keep putting your questions. I do see a flurry of questions coming up. Please keep the participation going. Share your views also about the discussion that is happening, and happy to take up. at the end. All right. Going back to Shayamal this time. Shayamal, what are some of the common challenges or stressors that you've observed employees struggle with at workplace, especially when it comes to mental well-being? And what sort of things can be done in order to ensure that the workplace is an environment wherein those challenges can be addressed?
Yeah, that's a fascinating question because it has to be tackled both top down and bottom up. To create workplace wellness it's everyone's responsibility. When I talk about the subject, I speak of, I quote, there's a beautiful book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and it's a military book where he speaks of military strategy. But he beautifully explains that the most important person in any war is the person standing next to you. Why? Because if you don't trust that person, you're going to have to look here. And the threat is never coming from there. The threat is coming from in front of you. So if your attention is misdirected, you have an inability to A, be productive, or C, where threats are coming from. I use this analogy in corporates and workplaces because I try to tell them that for us to create a safe, healthy workplace where psychological safety and trust are the core fundamental pillars is not just a nice to have, it's an essential to have for growth. Because if it's not there, then everything else gets eroded. I think there's some beautiful literature which most people tend to get wrong. There's a beautiful study that looked at dissatisfied employees versus satisfied employees. And what they found was that people who were dissatisfied were complaining about things like relationships with their leaders, the working conditions, the time they had to work, the company policy around certain issues like family or LGBTQ issues. They looked at salary. And employees had a tendency to think that if we took care of these, employees would be happy. And what was interesting is that they realized that you can increase a person's salary, you can change a company policy, you can change the working conditions in the office, and that doesn't make them satisfied. It just makes them less dissatisfied. A satisfied employee is someone that needs other things completely different. And we call these motivational factors. They need to be recognized for the work that they do. They need to be given the freedom to work and the freedom to do what they love. They need to be given a level of responsibility. They need to have a growth track with how they're going to be moving up the ladder. Recognition, award. These are the elements that make a person happy. So when we look at the subject of, say, workplace well-being, workplace safety, workplace happiness, the reason why I'm saying it's a top-down, bottom-up approach, because in most organizations, the thinking is done on the top, the execution is done at the bottom. So you need both of these to come together for success. It's unlike in a sports team where the thinking and the execution is done generally by the same person. Right? In an organization, it's split. And if you split these two functions, then you create a paralysis of productivity. It's only when you bring this together that you can truly and truly thrive. You started off this entire webinar with the word thrive, and you gave that scary statistic of 23% of people that are thriving. But what is thriving? Thriving is a unison of both conglomerates coming together, working to create a space that everyone can move forward in. And I think I'll end with this one very, very beautiful quote that describes what a good organization, a healthy, safe organization is. There's a book by Professor Hagi Rao from Stanford University. The book is called Scaling Up Excellence. And the summation of that entire book is that excellence, and most organizations are thriving for excellence. Excellence is not one person moving 1,000 steps forward. It's 1,000 people moving one step forward. Now, if you take that one sentence and you imbibe that into your entire culture, all of a sudden, we're thinking around the same things. We're trying to achieve the same thing. We're not worried about where the organization is going or where I'm going. We're looking at where we are going as well. And that's the fundamental aspect that needs to be developed top down, but it needs top down buy-in, but bottom up execution.
Wow. I would love to hear that line again that you just called out.
Yeah, the line is excellence is not one person moving 1,000 steps forward. It's 1,000 people moving one step forward. Okay. Yeah.
Beautiful. And Vallabh, Shayamal, I was looking at your LinkedIn posts, and recently there was an incident that happened in the IPL. And I'll just call out the team. I'm sure you'll understand, Lucknow Super Giants, and what happened on the field. Would you, in light of what you just said, would you want to share your thoughts on it with the audience?
Yeah, I mean, the IPL has a lot of incidents, so every week I have something to write about. That's the beautiful that's the beautiful thing about it. But the incident that you're looking at is what happened, the on-field altercation between Sanjeev Goenka and KL Rahul after that game. And that game was a terrible loss. But the thing is that terrible losses can happen. That's just what sport is. But what I was trying to highlight to everyone is that sport invokes in us an emotion that is very, very unique and completely disproportional to every other aspect of our life. So for example, if I come to visit you in Jaipur and ask you which is your favorite restaurant, you would take me. But if you ate bad food there 3 times, you would find a new favorite restaurant. But let's assume that your favorite football team is Manchester United and they've had a terrible year for a decade. You would still, a decade later, still keep supporting them. Right? Why is that? Why is that despite the fact that the results don't support certain things, you'll invoke a certain emotion that will keep supporting it? And that's what sport does. Sport, aspirationally, it tends to mirror us in some shape or form psychologically. So we see those wins, okay, as our wins, and we take those losses as personal identity losses to ourselves. This is why it invokes in us certain emotions and makes us behave in a way that's very unbecoming of us under normal circumstances. Now, when I started about speaking, I spoke about equanimity and the return to balance. So a leader who's equanimous and is very emotionally resilient could have been knocked off the same barrier, but will return far quicker to the point where he doesn't react in that manner. A person who is not in control of their physiology and their psychology would then react, and then 2 days later, you'd see another post where he invited him to dinner. That's what will happen, because the gestation period between the incident and this is so much longer. And in Buddhism, they say everything starts with awareness. And between awareness and action is a gap, and your entire life is in that gap there. Everything is in that gap, between awareness and action. So that's what the post went on to sort of just beautifully explain. And that's what a lot of my writing does, is I take very, very simple core concepts that are happening in leadership and science, but I'm bringing in the neurological lens as to why we're behaving and acting like this. And I want to try to show people that, it's not about judgment, because what happened to Sanjeev Goenka could have happened to you. In fact, to many people who were in the stands, they were probably using certain types of vulgarity and behavior that was unbecoming of them. The only difference was there was no camera that captured it. That was the difference. So it's very important when you understand the neurological conditioning of our body and how we respond. You could become a little bit more forgiving, but B, you'll understand how to circumnavigate the way the brain operates.
Absolutely. And thanks for sharing it so candidly. And, when I first saw that incident, I felt that this has often happened in my career where I was on the side of KL Rahul, where I worked with bosses where things have happened. But, I've always thrived in positions where I have had bosses who had that equanimity, that they had a bit of gap between stimulus and response, as you just called. Great. Okay, great. I'm loving the conversations. I hope this goes on and on, but we have Q&A also to take. But I have a few questions, but first going to Dr. Bhawna. Dr. Bhawna, what are some of the common misunderstandings or misconceptions that you've come across when it comes to physical wellness, especially at work? If you can.
First and foremost is that it is very costly. Might it be organization or the persons, individuals themselves, they think that physical wellness, oh my God, it is going to cost us a lot. But the thing is, no, taking active breaks just during your work is not going to cost you. Okay, these organizations also should think that if they're investing in certain programs like say ergonomic assessments or on-site evaluations for the employees, that will lead to prevention of musculoskeletal issues in future. So that is going to, in fact, cut them the costs, healthcare costs of the impending chronic conditions which they might turn into. And it also reduces the absenteeism if they are taking care of their health before the acute condition turning chronic. Okay, as Shayamal said, awareness. Awareness is everything. So they should invest in certain programs to educate the employees. Education is empowerment here. Okay, and your body, if you're not investing in it, it is the only place you've got to live in. First, health is wealth. First, wealth is health. In fact, I'm speaking it the other way around. And secondly, one size does not fit all, because say there are two people, just colleagues talking in the workplace. I'm going to the gym. Why don't you join me? Okay. After persistence of some time, the other person goes to the gym with him, but he doesn't know what is his physical status, what is his level right now. He doesn't get evaluated. He also just goes to the gym, and the say he doesn't have a personal trainer. He just does all the exercises the other person is doing, and he comes back with injuries. Even if there's a personal trainer, he should be a very good instructor, and he should also take care of the existing conditions if there are in the person. They should get their fitness levels assessed first, that what is their current status, and then go slowly and gradually they build up on their stamina, their strength, whatever they are taking up. Okay, there was a case where one person came. My friend told me to join the gym. Okay, I went to the gym and I lifted this much. He lifted this much. And after a month or so, he's coming with tendonitis in both his elbows because he lifted it with poor form. His body was not ready to lift it. He could lift it, but his body was not in that state that he could lift it with the accurate use of muscles or power. So he came back with the injury. He had to take off 6 months. He took 6 months to recover. Because the other factors, like he was not a regular one who would go for walks, who would take physical wellness very seriously, not even serious with his diet. So when we see a patient, we are seeing him as a whole. Like we have to see, okay, what is your daily routine? When you get up, are you indulging any physical exercise in regular? Even if you're not indulging in any stretching sessions and work, also you are just sitting without any breaks. You are just sitting and sitting, and then just all of a sudden you are joining the gym and doing all that your other friend is doing. That won't work. So one size does not fit all. Please get yourself assessed individually to know your current status, physical status, and then take up any physical program, whichever you want to take. Any fitness activity if you're joining. One case was like there was a IT employee, 30 or 32 years old. She was so bored at home when this work from home was going on that she joined Zumba classes because she felt that, yeah, I can do Zumba. She was otherwise very fit. To see, she was fit, but actually her muscles, her ligaments were suffering. So that you come to know only when you have assessed that person, musculoskeletal way also. The companies, organizations, when they offer these health insurances and all, they undergo the patient that undergoes blood work, they undergo the cardiac work, they'll undergo, but no one goes for the musculoskeletal work. No one goes for that. That how capable are you? How capable is your body to take any physical work? Okay, so in case if you are in any dilemma, always start with walking. Start gradually, start slowly, and build up upon it. Then next misconception, which is very common, is no, this thing is not for me. This is not for me. This wellness program, this webinar, this session, this is not for me. This is for young individuals. This is for fit individuals. But actually, the aging population needs it much more. So the corporates also, if they are like arranging any wellness program, they should see that it is adaptable to everyone, to every fitness level. There are always modifications available. If you are going for any exercise program, there are always modifications available. So you have to go and ask yourself, because everyone has diverse needs, diverse preferences. If someone is coming back after an injury, he's recovering, he might not be able to do high impact exercises. Okay. So go for low impact modifications, but you have to ask for that and you have to assess for that. Get yourself assessed for that. So customized plans are always preferable. You are going to join any new activity, you're going to start walking, you're going to join a gym, get a customized plan, ask your therapist or any healthcare provider, what is feasible for me that I can do in this situation.
Right.
So that's it.
Great points. And we've also seen this happening commonplace, that I've got inspired from either a friend who's following a particular regime. Even that is not
Inspiration is good, but you should know your status also.
Yeah.
Inspiration is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And often injuries happen because of that.
Yeah.
In this
And these injuries are absolutely avoidable. So instead of going a step further or two further, you are putting yourself on a backtrack when you're doing these things.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks for sharing that, Dr. Bhawna. I now want to ask, Kartik also, that Kartik, very quickly, what are some of the, things that leaders, business leaders or HR managers can do in the organization to really promote the culture of financial wellness, and how it adds on to your overall satisfaction and ability to withstand challenges in terms of overall well-being?
Sure. See, firstly, I think it's a slightly tricky topic when it comes to employers or leaders trying to invade into the territory of, say, an employee's personal finance side of it. But I think there are ways, right? There is a very strong ways to just build awareness, let employees know that we are offering certain services, and it's up to the employee to decide whether they would like to take that service or no. Just making, say, even a simple session where someone can come in, sit there and have a conversation. So you see large organizations, for example, at fresher induction. They obviously go through each of it, the company culture, the ethos, what do we stand for, an introduction to the various teams. And towards the end, there is a token, bank account that is opened, and that's it. The employee is left. But if you were to create something specific for freshers, see, everything needs a little, as Bhavna said, right? It's a target audience, needs a target message. It can't be one-off. So a 45-year-old, senior vice president doesn't need to be told about saving and insurance. His or her money worries are very different. Coming back to the fresher, have a very simple induction to money. This is for the first time they're actually going to be getting a sizable amount of money. Whether they should be taking debt at this stage, a credit card, what does it really cost? It ties back to the whole financial literacy. Today, most young employees don't know that a credit card is actually 25-30% interest rate. It's not 1.2, 2.1, a small number that is shown. But the mind just doesn't calculate. So, you could help them start their innings. You mentioned, if you had this at the start of your career. So I'll give you a very simple number. If you take two employees, both 25 years old, the first one starts saving from 25 itself. The other one delays and says, let's do this from 35. They both put 10,000. The person at 60 who started at 25 has 4x more money. And that's just the benefit of starting early. So the idea is, employers, workplaces can help organize sessions. Two, you start thinking of it in terms of there are different parts to say CTC. So I understand today, the focus is on CTC. People look at it, but even demystifying it for them. I'll give you an example. Recently, a young person came in thinking he had an 8 lakh medical cover. I agree, medical insurance is a tricky topic. It takes a little bit of, understanding. But he thought that, yes, his mother got admitted. At the end of the operation, he wouldn't have to pay it because the hospital bill was only 6 lakhs. You'd be surprised he'd have to pay 3.5 lakhs from his pocket simply because he didn't bother reading what was covered and not covered. There are fine print, there is a room rent capping, there are certain procedures which are not covered. So again, it is about bringing awareness. Just take a session to understand what is your health policy. I do understand there is a challenge to be buying the gold or the platinum version of healthcare for a workforce of 10,000 people. But awareness itself will tell them, yes, the company can take so much on your benefit. You need to take the next step in case you really want to secure yourself, or you're okay with living with a little gap in terms of the healthcare. And lastly, I think most organizations try and do this as very topical or, a token. Let's just talk about Women's Day, women and money, or, closer to Children's Day, it might be like, okay, let's plan for your children's education. Unfortunately, about doing the same thing again and again is what good personal finance is. How do you keep saying no to all the distractions that pop up, building a routine around it? So there needs to be, from an organizational point of view, a regular calendar of outreach, of providing awareness. It can have a little topical, towards the end of it. But sometimes you just got to reiterate the same message again and again to give people the confidence that they are on track to kind of reach that financial wellness goal.
Got it. I think for the audience, which are primarily comprising of a lot of HR managers, L&D folks, and business leaders, I think these are great points. And I think it can be put into a cadence the way you mentioned with those specific ideas across different hierarchies. I think that will be wonderful. Thanks so much, Kartik. Yeah. Right. Moving to Shayamal. Shayamal, similar question, that what are some of the things that, and as you said that it's both top down and at the execution level. So what does business leaders as well as HR managers can do to promote a culture of supporting mental well-being, and also creating a place where there is no stigma associated to it and there is open conversation about mental health challenges?
Yeah, what HR managers, firstly, we have to create a safe ecosystem for it. And I think where it starts with leaders. For example, I think one of the best ways to explain this is in 2023, I did 550 hours of coaching with CEOs, one-on-one coaching. Okay, so more than 1,000 sessions were done with CEOs where I tried to understand what is the core problems in the organization. The key number one learning and finding from 550 hours was that in most organizations, psychological safety is only present at the base level where there's a feeling of belonging. Yeah. But no one feels like they can challenge a system, contribute to a system, or challenge a leader. That's absent. What was interesting was that psychological safety in most organizations was not eroded from a place of malice. No leader wanted to push someone else down or wanted to create a toxic environment. No, it was always done with the best intention. They were acting in a way in which they thought they were protecting someone else, but their behavior was subconsciously sending a different message. So the number one learning was that intent and action completely didn't match each other. So what I would encourage HR leaders to do is we have to do a very granular analysis of the simple behaviors and then encourage leaders to change everything. So for example, here's one interesting one. So I speak to some senior leadership at an organization and I said, okay, if you have kids and your kid has a meeting at school, a parent-teacher meeting that you have to attend, right? Do you go for it? The answer is yes. We take an hour off and we go. I said, what do you tell everyone else in the organization? And the answer is we don't say anything. We say we're busy or we got a meeting or something. Mm-hmm. Now, when a leader doesn't feel comfortable enough to vocalize a reason like that, you're subconsciously sending a signal as a ripple effect down that that is not a valid reason for anyone to ask for an hour or 2 hours off. Okay. Yeah. So, but yet it is a valid reason, which is present for every single person in the organization. So what have you done? By you not having the courage to be vulnerable at a moment like that, you've subconsciously sent a signal to everyone down the thing that you're going to have to lie about things that are important to carve out time that is needed. Now, there's a science called habituation, which is very, very interesting. Habituation means the more you repeat something, you become so habituated to what you are saying that after a period of time, you don't even think about it. And the beautiful example of it was, there was one lecturer who gave this wonderful story. She says, there are two kids in a room. One is 2 years old and the other is 5 years old. The kid who's 2 needs to sleep at 7:30, but the one who's 5 likes to sleep at 8:30 and we can give them an hour. So the kid who's 5 comes to the parents and says, at 7:30, I'll act like I'm sleeping. And when my baby brother falls asleep, I'll come out and play for another hour. The question is, does the parent allow that? Okay. Now, it's an interesting thing. It seems completely innocuous, and you're allowing them an extra time. But if you habituate them to lying, then by the time that child is 20 years old, all of a sudden lying on their resume, lying about their financial just lying about their health becomes an easy thing. So habituation is a very, very critical thing. And for HR leaders, it's very important for us to look at the subconscious behaviors that are sending habituation signals that are eroding the core values in an organization. And it's too complex a subject for us to go into right now, but that's where we need to put the magnifying glass.
Wow. That was very powerful, and that's one of my takeaways, habituation. And we see this happening every day across workplaces and across in our personal lives also. Yeah. Great. Thanks. I would want this to go on and on. There's so many insights coming from all the domains. And thanks so much, everyone. I'm being mindful because I want to give an opportunity for the Q&A also. There are a lot of questions coming in from participants. And at this point, I will ask my team to, who must have collected the questions, to please pose the questions to our speakers, and let's help the audience get the answers.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Neeraj. So we have got quite a few questions for all the speakers. I will start with the question for Mr. Shayamal. Rupasi Murthy says, first and foremost, thank you for sharing your great insights, very helpful. The question is, how can emotional wellness be maintained in remote work environment? Can you suggest some additional resources or support that can employee or any other working professional can consider to avoid mental fatigue or burnout?
Interesting. It's a multi-layered question there. Firstly, as psychologists in corporates, we say burnout has very little to do with how much you're doing and more to do with who you're doing it with. So it's not the quantum of work you're doing or the time you're doing it with. It's the inability to have a healthy relationship with the people around you that creates more mental fatigue and burnout as such. The second aspect of that component is emotional resilience and emotional well-being. Firstly, emotional well-being, whilst we've placed it as a corporate agenda or an organizational agenda, primary facing, it is an individual agenda. Okay. And if you are going to outsource your emotional health and mental well-being to an organization, then you'll always get the scratched surface aspect of it. Kartik said the exact same thing. Your organization will take care of a certain component of your physical well-being, mental well-being, or financial fitness. You will have to top it up as such. So the first thing is, and the most powerful rule and lesson that anyone can do is, champions in every shape and form are ones who accept full accountability and ownership for every single thing in their life. So if you want to improve your mental well-being and your mental fitness, then the first thing is take full accountability and responsibility of it. And how do you do it? You do it by cultivating practices that strengthen the inner core, where you become a lot more stable, where you're comfortable being by yourself. You have a meditation practice that teaches you what your baseline is, constantly raise your baseline, have the courage to have conversations that are tough, eat that frog, understand, for example, what happens to your body and your physiology when you display courage, what happens to your body when you do something physically challenging. Once you start cultivating that awareness of how far you can move off your baseline and how quickly you can return by yourself without anyone else's help, then you have all of the tools that you need to sort of develop yourself. But I think the main thing that I want everyone to understand is that this is not an organizational responsibility. It is a personal responsibility. And do not outsource such an important job to any third party.
Great. Thanks so much, Shayamal, for answering that. I hope you got a brilliant answer.
Thank you, Shayamal. Another question on chat is for Kartik. The question says, financial acumen is very important for leadership progression. Any suggestion for what women leaders should do to develop this area?
Yeah, fabulous question. See, I think if you look at it, I don't think there's too much difference whether you say it's financial wellness for women, financial wellness for professionals, solopreneurs, etc. Right? It's an individual thing. Clearly, when you think about women, yes, there could be a break in career in between and then restarting. So that needs a little bit of personalization in terms of how you'd want to play it. Do you want to build a buffer before you go on a maternity break and then come back? Or, it's something where who's going to be the primary caregiver even after, say, childbirth. So there isn't really anything specific that to say women need to do differently. But definitely, I think just playing on what Shayamal is saying, it is taking control of it. What we see today is a lot of, women are very successful earning the money, but they still choose to outsource the investment either to parents, fathers, brothers, uncles, and not taking ownership of it. I know there is a little bit of, yes, there's confusion. It's a very tough topic. Generally speaking, I'm not good with finances, but it isn't a tough topic. I tell everyone that it takes an hour every year to see how much you're making, where are you spending that money, how much are you saving, and is that saving enough to meet your goals? It's not more than an hour. It is the job of someone sitting with you to demystify it, talk in simple language. The industry has built a lot of jargon, but deep down, there are only 2 or 3 simple messages that you want. And if you are running a successful professional practice, there's no doubt you'll be able to manage your money as well, because it is relatively easy to do it. So yeah, I think it's about taking ownership of the money thing, asking those questions, and at the end of a meeting, going back saying, yes, I understand how much I'm making, where is it getting invested, and why is it getting invested?
I mean, great question, and thanks, Kartik, for answering that.
Thank you, Kartik. A question for Dr. Bhawna. In view of long working hours, job intensity, and working from home, could you please demonstrate or suggest some ergonomic practices that employees can practice or implement on their own at home?
Yeah, thanks for the question. First of all, I'll tell what is ergonomics. It is designing your environment, not only your workplace. Ergonomics applies to even after work hours, like you're sitting, you're sleeping, you're standing, every posture, you're driving. Ergonomic applies, principles are applied to everything. So adjusting your environment according to you is ergonomics, and aligning your body in correct form is the posture. And best position is the neutral position. So avoid long hours of sitting, because it can lead to dormancy in your muscles when they are not moving. Their circulation is compromised. Okay, and according to a WHO study, 60 to 80% of the people are sedentary now. They are into sitting. And it is not only the 9 to 10 hours of sitting that you're doing at work. At home also, since morning, you're sitting. You're sitting for breakfast, then you're driving, you're sitting. You're going to the work, you're sitting. You're coming home for entertainment, you're sitting. For dinner, you're sitting. So you have to break that behavior. You have to take frequent breaks. In the morning, start with a 5-minute mobility. Just a 5-minute mobility routine helps a lot. I myself getting up, just freshening up, and I straight away go to the kitchen, hold the platform, and do my stretches, the mobility routine. That's the best way to start. You can hold any static chair, stable chair, or table, or your counter, and you can start with the mobility. Then you go to the office. The best thing which I found in a corporate, which helped the employees, was just entering. You have big posters there for a 5-minute stretching routine before work, before you start work. You have got big posters. You watch them daily. You do them daily. It gets imprinted in your mind. You don't even have to think. Where it's a routine. That is, again, habituation. You just go, you do those exercises, you start with your work. After every hour, put up alarms, put up reminders, and get up for 5 minutes, stretch. Now, these stretch snacks or stretch exercises, which you have to do in between, I'll demonstrate a few for you. Number 1, just take 2 fingers, push your chin behind, and just hold that position. This is for that forward head posture, because we all get used to doing this. So this is to activate the deep neck flexors. Just hold. Don't hold the breath. Just count for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax. By relaxation, I don't mean you have to go back to that posture. You just have to relax your muscles there only. This can be repeated 5 to 10 times. Then the neck stretches, neck movements, the yes and no movement. You have to do it at a slow pace. Don't do it like this. And always be aware of any health conditions that you have. If you have low BP, don't do this at a fast speed. Do it gradually. And don't do this if you have a problem of vertigo. Don't do that. So do it half circles only. Yes and no, this and this. But do it full range. To maintain the proper length of the muscle, please do it full range. Try to touch your chin to the chest and then go back and this. Then the shoulders. So I go at body part to part. Like I'm starting with the neck, chin, and then I go back. I go to the shoulders. It is easier to remember this way practically. So then shoulders, we are going to roll the shoulders 5 to 10 rolls clockwise, 5 to 10 rolls anti-clockwise. And it is not necessary you have to do it all in one go. In one break of 5 minutes, you can do the head and neck movements. In the next break of 5 minutes, you can go towards the shoulder shrugs or elevations, as you can call it, these. Then you can do the wrist stretches. I just stand here. Do the wrist stretches up this way. Just hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. For any stretch, please make sure you're holding it. 5 to 10 seconds. Then the other way, the down. Just hold it for 5 to 10 seconds and then relax. Doing it for 4 to 5 repetitions is also enough if you are repeating it every hour. This is especially very good for the computer users who are working with the mouse. Now, one ergonomic adjustment we can do with the mouse is instead of a horizontal mouse, where our wrists are placed like this, you can use a vertical mouse, where the wrist is placed in the neutral position to avoid any pressure over the nerves running through the wrist. And for the elbows, you have to place the elbows at 90 to 110 degrees. So please use a chair with proper armrest. You can rest your arms on the armrest to keep the wrist in the neutral position like this. You can use a keyboard tray, but your wrist should be like this. And if you are using a vertical mouse, that is very good. Then you can.
Dr. Bhawna, I have a question.
Yes, please.
These are great insights, great ideas, but where is it? I mean, if you can share, what are some of the resources that someone like the person who asked this question and all of us, because these are great. I wasn't aware that, how the form should be because we do it randomly. But just in the interest of time, I wanted to know what is that one resource.
If you just Google what is the proper ergonomic stretches or desk stretches, you will be able to find them. But the thing is, again, if you want a customized session, you have to consult your healthcare provider only so that you're not doing it wrong. You don't harm yourself instead. That is the thing. And if you already have any limitations, get assessed. Like if you, I see many people who are normal like that, and they're not even aware that they have muscle tightness. Like they're not even able to touch their chin up till this level. They're just sitting like this. They're not moving like this. They have a rigid neck, such a tight neck, and they're not even aware. They come to know it only when they face any pain or tingling or numbness in the hand. That is an advanced stage. So it can be prevented right away if you start doing all these stretches and this on a regular interval in your daily routine only. You have to incorporate into daily routine. Then only these will be beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, I think the takeaway is that it should be preventive more than going to an expert.
Of course, always prepare and prevent rather than repair and repent.
Thanks, Dr. Bhawna. Yeah. All right, Ananya, are there any more questions? We are running very close to the final time, and we have a Mentimeter to do.
There are a few more questions, but what we can do is maybe address them in a follow-up email.
Yeah, can do. So thanks so much for sharing your questions. I'm just being mindful of the time, but we will get your questions answered from the experts and send it across to you. I hope that's okay with the masters speakers. Is that okay? Yeah, great. Thank you so much. At this point, I would like to call out that there's a Mentimeter. There's a question we would want the audience members to answer, and that would really help us to understand about this event that we hosted for you. There is a link that is posted in the chat box. It's a Menti link. If you click on it, you'll open up a page wherein you can submit the response to one single question. If you're able to access the link and able to open the page, just type a yes in the chat box. That just helps us to know that the link is working. Great. Thank you so much. All right. Maybe as the responses are coming up, we'll showcase to you as well. Wonderful. So our question was, what is the one takeaway from today's fire starter? chat, and we are getting great responses. There are already 8 responses, 9, and more are coming in. Being mindful of your health, mind, and finance, short breaks, the quote on excellence, the ergonomic exercises, taking control of the well-being. Yeah. Science of habituation, prepare and prevent. Great. Keep them coming in as you ponder upon the question and post your takeaway. At this point, I would also like to call out that thanks for heartily participating. The people who are being identified for the giveaway will be done by my team, and you will soon receive a response from our team. Thank you so much for joining in. At this point, I would also like to really thank the organizing team who organized this for all the hard work, for having me moderate this session, Archie for managing the back end. I'll also want to thank you for joining in today and listening in, learning from the speakers, and sharing your views and questions. And last but not the least, I really want to thank all the speakers, Kartik, Shayamal, Dr. Bhawna. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights with us. They were really useful, very helpful, and I'm sure will go a long way. And I'm hoping we are going to get a lot of responses from our audience to have a more detailed session here on. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.